Hi, my name is Jenny Ewert. Welcome to my presentation about my blended learning class at Beaverton High School. For many years, I've taught two classes during the same hour. This year, the two classes paired together are Business Management, a new class for me, and Accounting 2. A challenge with having two classes in the same hour is that the class with the fewest number of students tends to be neglected. I've offered Accounting 2 in an online format before with the advantage of having the teacher in the classroom, but when questions arise, many times I do not have time to help them because I'm working with the other class. At the end of the last school year, I asked my administration if they would pair these two classes together and offer them 7th hour. While attending the McCall conference in Grand Rapids in March, I sat in a session where blended learning environment was offered to students. In this environment, students only attended class 50% of the time. They could come to class every day, but were not required to. The benefit of this model was that students were challenged to become independent learners, and it allowed for differentiated instruction. Students that needed help came to class on class days. This model intrigued me, so I went home to ask my principal if this was something I could explore, and he said yes. During this summer, I planned on creating 2 online classes in Moodle and having them ready to begin in the fall, but I sat in front of my screen many days in the summer not knowing where to start. Enrolling in the Blended Learning in the Classroom course offered through REMC was what I needed to get the ball rolling. In this class, I was able to practice what I was learning on my students and became more comfortable with a blended learning environment. Two of the tools I use to deliver information and content to my students is my class website, ewertweb.com, and Moodle. When students enter my classroom, they go to ewertweb.com to learn the agenda for the day. That website then points my students to Moodle where the content is delivered. My classroom website is public and open to anyone who has internet access. It is a good tool to communicate with students, parents, and the community. My Moodle course is password protected and students must have a login ID and password to access information. One of the first assignments I gave students in my Moodle course was for them to create a video introduction. The purpose of this assignment was so students could get to know each other better. In an online environment, you may never meet your classmates face-to-face, so this video could help them get to know each other better. In my blended environment, students have the bonus of being able to see each other face-to-face as well.
In the beginning of the year, one of our assignments was to create a video about ourselves. We had to post it online and share it with the class. The purpose of the activity was so we could get to know each other better in an online environment. It was more difficult than I expected. I used PowerPoint and learned how to create a video with Screencast-O-Matic. Not only did I learn to use new tools, I also learned more about my classmates.
When entering in the classroom for my blended learning class, you will find 2 classes meeting at the same time, Business Management and Accounting 2. The first thing students do as they enter the class is to check my classroom website to see the assignments for the day. Then they log into Moodle to continue lessons they started in previous days. Some of the lessons are individual assignments and students work at their own pace. Some assignments are collaborative, so they're researching and posting information to a discussion forum or working together with a classmate creating a presentation. Eventually, this class will be moving to a 50-50 format where one class is required to meet face-to-face 50% of the time and the other class will meet face-to-face the other 50%. The time students are not in the face-to-face environment are considered online learning days. Students can choose to attend class and work online those days, but may also choose to work elsewhere, any place they have internet access. The purpose of this model is to embrace the idea of anytime, any place, anywhere instruction. This is what students look like on a typical day in my face-to-face environment. This is a screenshot of a sample assignment I gave to my business management students. They were to research a country of their choosing. I created a Google document with 20 countries on it. When they selected one, they needed to let me know so I could assign that country to them and no one else could repeat that country. They then were to research what would it be like to do business in that country, create an online presentation, and post it to a discussion forum. When they were finished posting their presentation, they were to view and comment on 3 other classmates' posts. The other pictures on this page are samples of part of a presentation created on France by one of my students. In another Moodle assignment, I had students watch a YouTube video on Lindsay Phillips, the creator and founder of SwitchFlops. As they watched the video, they were to take notes on some of the characteristics that made her a successful entrepreneur and share their thoughts with me in an online writing assignment. Most of the assignments I offer students are self-paced. If you look at my students' computer screens in my face-to-face classroom, many times my students are all at a different spot. This has required me to create videos for instruction. I use Camtasia Studio 8 most frequently, but I've also used Screencast-O-Matic. The easiest way for me to share my videos is to post them to YouTube and to embed the YouTube video in a Moodle assignment. I've been practicing using a webcam once in a while, but have experienced problems with the audio lagging and not liking what I look like in the video. My dog has barked in the background a few times also, which I sometimes leave in the background for effect. It usually makes my students smile. We will listen to a few seconds of a video that I created.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a Google spreadsheet and how to use some built-in formulas for Google spreadsheet. If you're in your Google Drive account, what you're going to want to do is click the Create button, and you're going to want to go ahead and select Spreadsheet. And when you do that, a spreadsheet will open on your screen, and it's going to look very similar to Microsoft Excel. Up here at the top, the very first thing you're going to want to do is give this document a name. And so I'm going to call this Business Management Chapter 1 Franchise Spreadsheet. Go ahead and hit OK. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a title for my report here.
So what tips do I have for instructors thinking about using a blended environment? Number 1, I would start small. Pick one class to try this on and work with that class for a year. When you feel more comfortable, you can add other classes. A second thing, enroll in a course for yourself. Although taking a class while teaching classes is challenging, it was very helpful for me to have assignments that forced me to create assignments for my blended class. The assignments sometimes pushed me out of my comfort zone, but that was a good thing. A third thing, explain to students that you are new to this delivery model and that you're learning too. Ask them to be patient with you. They will understand. You are human. The fourth thing, set aside time for course development. It is time-consuming creating course content and keeping up with all the other aspects of teaching, like grading papers, being on committees, etc. I dedicated part of each weekend in developing content that could be used the very next week. It is a lot of work this year, but I'm hoping to benefit from the work next year. And the last thing, get feedback from your students. Give them an exit ticket every once in a while to see how things are going, or develop a Google survey for them to complete. Their feedback may help drive the content you create in the future. Some students will excel in the blended environment and some may struggle. Here are some tips I would give to students enrolling in a blended learning class. Number 1, ask for help when you need it. The benefit of having a teacher nearby in a blended class versus being strictly online is the teacher can answer your question right away. Don't be shy. Remember your classmates are also able to help you and give assistance. A second tip, stay organized. Plan your time well. Make sure you use face-to-face class time to your advantage to minimize the amount of work that must be done outside of school. Third thing, minimize distractions. Put the cell phone away. Put your headset on. Try to minimize background noise. You will concentrate better if you're not trying to do too many things at the same time. A fourth thing, pay attention to deadlines. And if assignment is set to expire on a specific date and time, make sure you've submitted by that time. Most college classes will not allow you to submit late work. Practice submitting on time now. And the last one, appreciate the freedom the blended learning class offers. Not all classes allow you to work at your own pace and give you this type of independence. The next slide, we're going to have some of my students give you feedback of what they think.
Have
Having a blended learning class in high school teaches you responsibility and discipline. You have to do your own thing at your own time. In college, people don't go to the same class every day or even do things in a classroom. I feel like I'm being treated like an adult because that's how college kids do things. I would like working at my own pace and not doing things on my own time.
I was going to tell you today about why I think blended learning, why I think it's going to be good for me is because I like to go home and concentrate on my work at home. I'm not very good in the school environment. Working in the classroom is kind of hard for me to concentrate, so I find it better if I can go home for an hour or two and relax at my own desk with my own computer and work.
I like online learning because I like to go at my own pace, and when I'm absent, like I was this past week, I can work on it anywhere, not just in the classroom.
I like my blended class so that it's easy for me to stay focused because most of my lessons are online. I can time my windows to watch a lesson in one and follow along doing my work in another. There is less distractions when I control the pace.
My most recent project in my business management class, we got to work with a partner and create a business plan. What's cool about that is that during blended learning days I'm not required to be in class, we can still both be working on the project even when we aren't in class together. We use Google presentations. I created a document, shared it, and we both could work on it at the same time.
One of the things I like about my blended learning class is that I'm not required to be in class every day, although I can choose to come to class if I like. The online part can be completed anywhere I have internet access, and I can work at it at my own pace.
I surveyed my students recently, and here are 2 questions I asked them. Number 1, would you be more likely to enroll in a class listed in a course catalog if it was stated that it was blended learning? Over 90% of the class said yes. The second question, we're moving to a 50-50 model soon. Students will not be required to come to class on designated online learning days, but they can choose to come on those days. The question was, how often do you think you will come to class when you are not required to? Over 60% of the responses said that they would still come to class 50% or more of the time. Here are some other comments that I received from my students. I like working at my own pace. I like learning in a new way. I like the independence of this class. I can get help when I need it. I like how I'm gaining computer skills. I can work on assignments at home. I like how I have a choice on the computer applications to use to complete assignments. I like working in Moodle. I like being able to work in groups, and I like how everything is straightforward. My administration changed over the summer, and because I was not comfortable with the blended learning environment at the beginning of the year, I waited until October to speak to my principal and counselor about going to the 50-50 model. They liked the idea, but were a bit concerned about seat time and how that could affect our state aid. We scheduled an appointment with the state auditors to describe what we wanted to do and our understanding of the law. They spoke of the paper trail we would need to keep on file for this type of instruction, but did not see any issues with our ideas. The next step was to present the ideas to our business advisory board, and they liked our idea, and I'm giving a presentation to the Board of Education within a couple of days to get their feedback. Offering a blended learning class has improved my teaching. First of all, it has taken me out of my comfort zone, which is a good thing. I learn from trying new things and learn even better when I make mistakes. A second thing, my technology skills have improved this year. Prior to this class, I knew some of the features in Moodle, but I've been challenged to learn about many more tools and can create many of them with ease now. Another thing that has improved for me, being a student in an online class was very valuable. I've been the teacher for too long. It is good to sit in the seat of a student every once in a while to see how instruction impacts me. I've changed some of my practices because I know what it's like to be a student. And lastly, having students work self-paced in my classroom has helped me build relationships with them. When I'm in front of the class delivering instruction to all, you do not get that one-on-one communication. I know my students better through this interaction, and I hope they feel very comfortable with me. In conclusion, in a professional development seminar at the beginning of the school year, I heard the quote, "You learn from what you struggle with." That is so true for me, but it is also true for my students. Through my experience with creating a blended learning environment, I've strived to build in a bit of struggle for my students. Being challenged is a good thing. I've had struggles creating this class, but I've learned from those struggles. Isn't that what education is all about? Learning.